Do you know what I love about PSA? I feel like I'm in a whole room of like my mates. This is great. This is great. So yes, understanding the impact that we have on others, because we know as speakers, don't we? We know our stagecraft. We know that we need to be grounded, or when we walk with purpose. We project our voices. Can you all hear me at the back? Yes. Marvellous. And we use the great pause when we need to. And that's amazing when we're doing our keynotes and everything. But actually, what about when we've done a keynote and then we're going to go out and have conversations with people? We're going to go to the coffee place out there and we're going to think, oh, I need to have a one-to-one. Or maybe I've got a new coaching client that's coming on board. Or I'm going to work with somebody that I don't know. How can I really adapt and flex myself to get the best out of them? Because I can't change any of your personalities. Yeah, you are who you are. But what I can do is understand your personality so that I can flex and adapt my personality to get the best out of the relationship. Yeah, so that starts by looking in the mirror. Okay. Now, I use what's called the DISC system, but these profiling tools have been out for actually thousands of years. Yeah, not just hundreds of years. We could go back in history to Empedocles, and he talked about 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. We know the impact. We've all heard of that, have we? Yeah, okay. And then even further back to Hippocrates in 400 BC, who actually ever knew I'd be standing up doing a history lesson? I didn't. And he talked about the 4 fluids in your body: blood, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm. This is a PSA conference. You'll probably find in my body is gin, tonic, whiskey, and wine. Actually, no, don't let me drink the wine. I can't do the wine. But there you go. So that's like way back in history. They've always talked about it. And then you come to the modern day of profiling tools and what's been used. And in the early 1920s, a gentleman called Carl Jung coined the phrase introvert and extrovert. He talked about the psychological, the feeling, the emotional. And then a little bit later than that, 1928, a gentleman called Dr. William Moulton Marston, he published his studies of the emotions of normal people. And everyone back then thought, why would you study normal people? You can't sell them lotions, potions, or half an hour on a therapy bed. But that is what he did. And he and his wife were also accredited with the polygraph, or commonly called the lie detector. And what I didn't know until I was studying him is that he also invented Wonder Woman. I mean, she is my superhero, not for my love of Spanx. Yeah, but I grew up in the day of Linda Carter. And who remembers Wonder Woman? And her lasso of truth, didn't she? She had the lasso of truth. And she put the lasso around the villain. The villain couldn't help but tell the truth. The link to the polygraph, the lie detector, coming back to the studies of the emotions of normal people. So there's the history of it all. And like I said, there's lots of other tools out there, but I just use the fundamentals of DISC. And there are lots of other things that also impact our behaviour. It's not just our personality. But that's what we're going to start on. And we're going to find out today what your strongest personality style is. Because this is going to be interactive. I know you've all come in and sat down and thought, oh, this would be nice comfy half an hour with Vic. No. I'm going to make you do some of the work. Yeah? Because this is like the bit before lunch. So you're all starting to flag thinking, I need to get out there and have some food. So I just thought we'd energise the room a little bit more. Now, there are some of you that are sitting there thinking, okay, well, what's this whole personality thing and how do I find out what my strongest style is? So I could ask you 2 very simple questions. And the first question I'm going to ask you, and I want a show of hands here, if you said, so I said Carl Jung uses introvert and extrovert, so I use outgoing and reserved. So I'm going to ask you the question of whether you think you are outgoing or reserved. And there'll be some of you in the room that will straight away be, yep, I'm one or the other. And there'll be some of you that go, oh, Vic, that depends. And I get that, because it will depend on who you're with and where you are. Yeah, your environment will impact how you behave. But for the sake of this, just give me a show of hands if you said that you are outgoing. And now give me a show of hands if you say you are reserved. Okay? So I've even got the body. Okay, James, there's always one in the room that can't make their mind up. Yeah, but for this exercise, you're going to have to choose. But even your body language there showed me whether you were outgoing or reserved. I mean, this lady here, sorry, the lady in the white jacket there, matching white jacket. See you.
I'm just posting you. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It was outgoing. I'm not just putting my hand up. I'm literally punching the ceiling. I'm that outgoing. And then there are other reserved people here in the room. I mean, James, you're even on the floor. You know, could you be more reserved of like, I'm reserved. Don't need to make a song and dance about it. She just asked a show of hands. So our body language gives us away. And it's different when we're on stage and we're doing the talk because we all have that different, sometimes you go, oh, I don't know whether that speaker is outgoing or reserved or what style they are. But actually it's that one-to-one conversation. Does somebody come up and actually give that whole body language of outgoing or reserved? So I actually want us to move in the room. Like I say, I'm going to get you energised. You're keeping an eye on my time, James, because you know me in detail. Yeah, I don't do much of detail. So I want, for those of you who said they were outgoing, what I'd like you to do is to get up out of your chairs and head to the back of the room. Before you do it, though, please, because you're so outgoing, you've run. Because you're great, you've got your instruction, but what about the reserved people? Okay, so the reserved people, I'd like you to get up and come to the front of the room here. So outgoing to the door and reserved to here, to the back of the room. Right, so we've got our reserved people and we've got our outgoing people. Actually, not a bad split of the room for speakers. I just assumed everybody was outgoing because we all like to be on a stage and the sound of our own voice. I learnt very quickly that wasn't the case and how I had to flex and adapt my own style when I am speaking to people on the other side of the room. So that's one area, but as you probably know, with all of these personality profiling things, there's 4 areas. So I need to ask you another question now and ask you to think about, are your focuses at the end of each day, your compass that drives you, the motor that drives you, is it all about getting tasks done or is it all about people interactions? And what I mean by that is, do you get to the end of the day? Will you get to the end of today, maybe, whilst you're tucked up in bed at 9 o'clock. No, not 9 o'clock. It's cabaret tonight, isn't it? Yeah, there's going to be a few special things there as well. Do you think about all the things that you've learnt, which I'm sure we will because we've got our Just One things, we've all taken notes, all about the tasks, the things, or maybe the emails you've done, the book you've written, the emails that you've sent? Or do you get to the end of the day and think about all those people that you've met? Yeah? All the hugs you had? Yeah? COVID spread, I'm sure there probably will be, won't there? Sorry, did I say that? And it's on camera. Yeah, we'll cut that bit out. But it's all the people that you've met, because we're here at PSA and suddenly it's like, oh my God, and I've connected with this person, but I've never met them. And it's all about the people side of things. Or the end of your day, your work day, and it's the phone calls that you've had, the meetings on Zoom, the interactions with the people, or the tasks that you've completed. And again, I get it. There's going to be some of you in the room that will say, oh, Vic, that depends on who I'm with, where I am, what kind of day it's been. But for this exercise, I want you to think about, on the majority of times, it's either task or people. So stay outgoing and stay reserved. If you are task focused, I want you to be on that side of the room. And if you are people focused, I want you to be on this side of the room. And there'll be some of you going, oh, I don't know which one. But just for now, choose one. So you've actually split into the 4 areas. And I use the system called DISC, which is dominant, influence, steadiness, and compliance. And you go, yeah, but what does that actually mean, Vic? Great, we're all standing in a corner. What does that actually mean? Well, I'm now going to help you all to understand the opposite styles to you. Because you don't need to know about your style, do you? That's the people that you just rub along with. They're your mates. We just kind of go along with these people. We don't need to make an effort. We don't need to flex or adapt our style. They're just who we are, tends to be our friends. But this world of work, there are so many other people out there and we need to understand them because we need to flex and adapt. So, I'm coming over here, first of all, to my red corner, my Ds, my dominant people. Oh, they're all worried, aren't they? Look at their face. Well, say what you like, I don't care. No skin off my nose. But these people they are dominant and demanding and direct and decisive. The doers, the drivers. Yeah? Demanding of yourselves as well as others because they have a fear of failure. You don't want to, no, it's not going to. You might find that no, you can stay there for now, Alan. It's not about bad thing. So that's the thing with personalities, because people go, but I want to be a different style. Why? Why do you want to change who you are? You are who you are. Yeah? And these are our Ds: dominance, demanding, direct, decisive. It's great. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. And we'll help other styles understand how you flex and adapt to work with these people. Good job it's so warm in this room, isn't it? I'm glad I chose hats. Right. Here we come over to our yellow corner, our eyes, our influence. These people see themselves as inspirational. Woo! We're interested in others. Yeah, we get whoops out of this lot. These are the people that have no eye in their style, avoid and go, oh my God, battery drain. But we want energy, don't we? We're interested in other people. We're impulsive. Actually, talking of impulsive, who here has got something in their wardrobe, still got a label on it, bought it in the sale, never worn it? Yeah. And I even heard it. You're standing there going, what? What? You spent money on something that you're never going to wear or use? Yeah, but it's just us, isn't it? We're impulsive. It was great. Yeah. We're influential though. Yeah. And that's just the way we are. But what we have is a fear of rejection, isn't it? Yeah. Like we've lost one Instagram follower, I need to find out who that is. But what we're thinking of is just like, I don't want to upset anyone. I want everyone to like me. I want everyone to love me. And I don't want to upset people. But what we need to do is that not everyone is like us. So sometimes when we're dealing with people who are opposites, we need to flex and adapt, rein it in, basically, so that they actually do enjoy being around us. Yeah? Eyes, influence. Yeah. It's okay. I'm coming back to you. Don't worry. I haven't left you. I will be back. Yeah? I promise. Okay. And it'll all be about you. Yeah? 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 Oh, that's an exhausting corner. Right. Now we are coming to greens, our S's, our steady corner. This is the corner of stability. The sensitive corner. And I don't mean sensitive, oh, ouch, that hurt me. But these are the ones that are sensitive to everybody else's feelings. Sometimes you put everybody else before yourself. Yeah. But you like things in the status quo. Yeah. You just need to have it as it. Let's not go changing things. Yeah. Not for change's sake. I don't like any of that. I just want everything to be nice and normal and steady. Perhaps like it a bit quieter on this side of the room. Yeah. So if the whole room was filled with all the outgoing people, these are all the people you'll find in that Rover suite getting some attention. Yes.
When you split us into two, how did you split us into two here? What did you do there?
Outgoing, reserved. I love it when someone in the eye corner goes, do you know, what did I miss? What did I miss? People.
Are they people?
Task. Yes, they're people as well. But they're reserved. These are people who are reserved. You're outgoing. No, but that was perfectly. So no, we didn't actually plan that, but you've just perfectly explained how eyes just don't listen all the time, sometimes. And Lisa's loving it because it's actually about her and the attention's on her. Bring it on! About me! These guys don't like change. These guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all of us, PSA members, we don't mind change, but change for change's sake, no. Take us on a journey to deal with change. Yeah? They're standing there going, no, just change it. Just change it. So we'll understand in a minute what it means to be opposites and how we can communicate. And then finally, over here, I'm coming to our blues, our C's. Conscientious. This is the corner of correctness. Glad to see Mr. Dave Henson in this corner as he does my slides. It's exactly why he does my slides, because mine suck. But it's about being consistent. It's about being careful. It's about being cautious. If a job is worth doing well, it's worth doing well and correctly, isn't it? Yeah? So just very quickly, they're a bigger group, yeah? But there's a middle. They can't stampede across. I'm just going to ask one thing about emails. How many times do you read an email before you send it?
Never.
to check it for spell typos? No?
Every time.
Every time. As you hit send?
Yeah.
As you hit send, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to ask, how many times do you check an email before you send it?
Every time. Multiple.
Maybe twice.
Maybe twice? More than that sometimes? Important documents going out?
It can go out with misspellings.
It can go upwards, yeah, it can go upwards.
Vic, can I say I do? Because I sent one out and it had the auto-correct like it did on my phone, and it said some rude words that people would misconstrue, and they did, and it had sex and stuff. So
Oh, that's not good, especially when you misspell count as well. It's really not good. Yeah.
By being an accountant who misspells it.
You've never done that. Oh, Delia, I'm shocked. Well, actually, that's also a prime example of a yellow there. They're storytellers. Yep, so when there's something going on, they have to join in and tell you a story about when they did it. So, thank you for that, James. Again, not rehearsed at all. But our correct, these guys as well, by the way, they have a fear of criticism without validation. Yeah, so don't criticise this team, this area, unless you've got backup. Because by bolly jolly bottoms, they've got backup. When you send that email, someone does it, and he goes, oh, I'll just follow it up with an email. And you're just like, why? I'm going to just bin that. They're the ones that keep it. And they're the ones that throw it back out when there's something to... Yes, wasn't it? Keep that email. Right. We'll have to take the hats off because they're really, really hot. Whew. So, that's our four corners. But what does that matter? You've told me about me. You've told me about the different stars. What does that matter? It matters when you're talking to someone who is a polar opposite to you. So the polar opposites being the Ds and the S and the Is and the Cs. But you've probably thought as I've walked around here, well, yeah, but some of those other things you said, Vic, were a little bit like me. Like Alan, you were just like, oh, can I get over there now? So this is your strongest style, but I want you to find out what your second strongest style is, because then that will really help when you're talking to somebody who's different. So we're going to do that by pointing. So I want you to just all put your fingers up in the air. Just one, pointy finger. One pointy finger. And when I tell you to, what you're going to do is you're going to point to the group, the area, the letter, the D, the colour that you thought also described you best. Yep, so you're in your strongest style, but then there's going to be another one that you think, actually, that's going to be where I would put myself second. Yeah, do you get that? Yeah, they're all just looking at me going, just let me point. None of you are actually doing what normally happens and there's a little sword fight going on somewhere. Or someone's singing, this little lad of mine, that. This lovely group over here are going, it's rude to point. I don't want to point. And this group over here are going, seriously, 2 questions and you want me to make another decision. This is just not enough information. But I want you to. So when I say go, I want you to point to the other group that you thought most described you. Go now. Okay. So most of you are pointing to a group to the side. There is a few of you pointing across the room, I can see. And they're probably the ones that maybe, an internal conflict happens with you. But it's nice to see that you're kind of pointing across. Okay, you can put your fingers down. Thank you very much. So what does it mean when we're communicating with people? Let's just talk about asking a question. That, I don't want to say networking because, that's just a rude word, isn't it? Networking. We're just opening up and having conversations with people. So this side of the room are outgoing and this side of the room are reserved. So what's our thought process? How do we think? If somebody asks us a question, how does our thought process show up? They just verbally vomit it at you, don't they? Yeah, out it comes. You've asked me a question, out it comes, here's the answer, it's done. Yeah, and we just love it. We just love it, don't we? But these people, their thought process is internalised, isn't it? You are going to internally think about the question that you have just asked them, and then they're going to give you an answer.
A week later.
Not quite a week later, but you've absolutely nailed it though. Because what it does mean is there's going to be something called silence, which you don't need to fill, but you will if it's too long. And you'll probably reframe that question and then verbalise it again. Yeah? And then this lot are thinking, well, hold on a minute, you haven't given me a chance to answer. Huh? Yeah? And now you've asked it again. Dare you do it a third time, you've lost them. You do it a third time and they're just thinking, what is even the point? Yep, let me go and talk to someone else. This lot are exhausting me. So what can we do to help each other to understand and give away what our preferences are and how we want to communicate? Well, if somebody asks a valid question that you want to think about, could actually just say, great question, let me think about it. I mean, not like that, because obviously that'd be weird. But, great question, let me think about that. By saying, let me think about it, tells this side of the room there's going to be some silence. And we don't need to fill it or reframe the question or verbally vomit with something else. What we need to learn to do is when we're with people who are reserved and that they're doing that whole thing, is we need to learn to count to 5 or 10 quietly in our heads. Yeah. So ask a question, well, let me think about it. We just can do it. Can we all practice? Go, 2, 3. I mean, don't do it looking at the ceiling because then you've obviously lost them as well. But you just need to learn that whole make eye contact. Yeah, bit of, nice body language, reading, mimicking and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then they'll answer. And then the conversation will actually get to a pace that works for everybody. Yeah. Yes, Penny.
Does it always require our side of the room to be the question asker? Are they likely to be forthcoming with a question?
Yes.
Okay.
But when they come forth with a question, what they don't generally do is they don't do what we would call chit-chat. I mean, we love a bit of chit-chat, don't we? We'll talk about any old weather, something. I nearly said a really rude word then, didn't I? And I remembered I am being filmed. But these guys won't. The people on this side of the room, our C's and our S's, they won't. They don't want the chit-chat. So if you're coming into a meeting, they're more likely to just come in when the meeting starts and they'll be asking purposeful questions. Yeah, not like, how's your... I mean, friends will, that you talk to, but they don't want that. They're just more purposeful. And they do start conversations. They absolutely can start conversations. They're great at starting conversations. They make great speakers as well because they probably practice and rehearse and deliver far more than we do over there. Anyone ever done a speech where we've done a wing it? Anyone ever there done a wing it job? Anyone over here ever done a wing it job? Oh, you have as well. Would you ever do it again? Prefer not to? Prefer to practice? Okay. But that's where so this is where we're at. This isn't just talking about PSA and networking here with us. We were going to think about our clients that we've got, our new clients that we've got. If we are direct and demanding and we're dealing with people who aren't, we are going to want them to speed up. And we might even, have you ever done a clicky finger? I've done a clicky finger. It's very, very rude, especially to these people. But these people, if you're speaking to someone and they're a client, a potential client, and they're over here and they're being direct and dominant and demanding, we need to pick our pace up a little bit. But that's fine. We can do that. It's not natural, but we can do it. And over here, we're all about the energy and the people and the woohoos, aren't we? Yeah. And if we're talking to people who are polar opposites over here, no, we need to just calm it down. And this is the thing. It's not about changing who we are. Yeah, it's about flexing and adapting to get the best out of the relationships that we have. And we can work with complete polar opposites. And I think we actually need to work with polar opposites. And I was using my lovely room host, James, as a prime example, who has come on to Queen's Counsel, because I have a client that I needed to do some work with, and I just knew the department were not going to want me. I was too much. It just wasn't a me job. So knowing that James was a polar opposite to me, I asked him if he'd like to come and do that bit of client work. So polar opposites can work together. I would like you to now, what have we got, James? Couple of minutes? Okay. You've just been standing there, so let's just walk around using what we know as our style and the people that are around us. First of all, I just want you to walk around the room saying hello to people with no facial expressions. Really deadpan, really boring. Just walk around just saying hello, just for 1 minute, saying hello. Keep walking around, just saying hello. Hello. No facial expressions. No being nice to people. Just hello. 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 Okay, stop where you are. Now I want you to walk around the room. Health and safety, I know. Now I want you to walk around the room saying hello, like you've won the frickin' lottery. Go on, hello. Woohoo! Hello! Oh my God, hello! Woohoo! Yes, come on! If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. If you can hear my voice, clap 3 times. Thank you very much for that. So I'm going to stand here. Thank you for being part of this. Raise your right arms. Raise your left arms because you've been part of the show. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much.